Have you ever wondered which chess principles are the most important for chess improvement and which ones you can ignore? Because in this video, I'm going to be ranking all the major chess principles that are present in some videos or on the internet, and I'm going to rank them based on how important they are. Oh yeah, this is going to be my opinion, by the way. So if you disagree with some of these, feel free to leave a comment. So let's get right into it. So the first one is centralize the king. This chess principle is only really important in endgames, but in openings and middle games, this is terrible advice. But in the endgame, it's actually not that bad. You have to activate your king. I'm gonna put this at, let's just say it's centralize the king in the end game. So I'm gonna put this at B tier, will help you sometimes. Space advantage. It's definitely nice to have, but it's not necessary to win the game. Don't know if it's B or C. I do think it's B tier. It's really nice to have some space advantage, especially with pawns. When your pawns are all the way forward and your pieces are controlling loads of squares in your enemy's territory, that's really, really nice to have. So it's going to be B tier. And on to our next one, use the rooks. You should definitely use all of your pieces. And by all of it, I mean all of it, including the pawns. So you get 2 rooks every game, that's 10 points. And if you don't use them, you might as well not have them and be down to 10 points of material. So I think this is very important. Castle early. I think this is our first S tier. Every time I have castled early, I've basically never regretted it. It's just such a good move. You not only get your king to safety, but you also get your rook into the game, especially in e4 openings. When you castle early and then open up the center and bring your rook to the center, it's just such a nice game. I've won quite a lot of games with that. Avoid blunders, S tier. I don't think we have to talk about this. Blunders are the single-handedly the biggest reason why chess games are won or lost. Up until 2000, there's still blunders happening in almost every game basically, and if you can prevent those, you will instantly feel it. Passed pawn is actually really nice to have, I have to say. Not only in endgames, but also in the middle game. If you can just put a rook behind a passed pawn and then push it all the way, it's actually really hard to stop. You can blockade it with a piece, but also can attack the piece that is blockading it to move away. So it's definitely a really nice thing to have. Your opponent has to be constantly worrying about this threat. It's just going to become a queen. Even in the end game, like it's probably even better in the end game because you just have a lot fewer pieces. You have to probably like move your rook in front of it or your king. And then when you do that, you don't have the piece for the other side or for whatever else you need to do. Trap the enemy piece. So this one is a little bit interesting. It doesn't happen often. I'm going to be honest. I've very rarely had that. It does come up though. And when it does come up, it's just really hard to notice it. Sometimes maybe like rarely win me a piece or a queen. A queen is very hard to trap, by the way. But yeah, this is going to be C tier. Pawn structure. I don't know how I feel about pawn structure. It's definitely nice to have, but it's not. There's definitely more important ones like tactics or avoiding blunders or king safety. I don't know if it's completely useless, but it's just nice to have, especially in the end game. You don't want to end up with doubled or tripled isolated pawns because they will just become weaknesses, and it's just a nice to have advantage, if you will. Time management. Yeah, time management is definitely S tier. If you're constantly getting low on time and then you lose games because of that, it's not even on your chess skill that is the problem, but on your decision making and how fast, how quickly you can make good moves. It is technically a part of your chess skill, but anyway. Bishop pair. Yeah, so this one is very niche. I didn't have many games that the bishop pair just straight up won me the game. Quite a rare instance, actually. If it's on an open board though, and you can manage to attack the opponent's king, it's very nice to have. But honestly, it's not even that great. I would say there's definitely more important ones. Okay, control the center. Yeah, I mean, it's just S tier. I don't think we have to talk about this too much. If you control the center, you control the game, you control where your pieces move. You essentially are able to create threats and, for example, make decisions like close the center or open up the center or attack your opponent's whatever. So control the center is definitely S tier. Simplify when ahead. It's one of those rules that you can't always trust this rule because, for example, if you have like a really good piece and you trade it off for a opponent's bad piece when you're up material, technically yes, you should trade because you're ahead, but you're also giving up a really good piece. So it's definitely a good rule to follow, but protect your pawns. Actually, I'm going to make this have your pieces defended, not just pawns. Having your pieces defended is just so nice to have. You will have a very smooth game. There's actually lots of tactics that can be prevented by following this rule. I'm gonna make this either A or S. I think it's A tier, to be honest. When you have your pieces defended, less tactics, less headaches. Okay, calculate ahead. Yeah, S tier. I don't think we have to talk about this. Chess is all about calculation and memorization and whatever. So you definitely need to be able to calculate deep into some couple moves into the position. Yeah, this will probably help you in every game, basically. And on to our next one, defending weaknesses. So this is very specific. Actually, I'm going to make this avoiding weaknesses. I think this is a little bit better because defending weaknesses is a little bit too specific. For example, your opponent is threatening to double up your pawns or make them isolated or whatever weaknesses you have in your position, and you take care of it. Long term, this advice is very useful. Just makes your position easier to play and makes your opponent's life harder. I think this will help you sometimes. Of course, there's more important pieces of advice and principles. This is definitely useful to have. Piece coordination. Yeah, this is very important. You can't ignore this. Chess is basically all about coordinating your pieces to win the game. It's probably just S tier. Like for an example of piece coordination would be attacking your opponent's king and lining up on a specific square with two pieces or more. The most basic thing is threatening checkmate, for example. You have to coordinate your pieces to win the game. Yeah, I mean, like so many tactics, so many techniques or whatever is based on this advice right here. So this is definitely important. Active pieces, yeah, kind of overlooked, to be honest. People don't even I feel like in the chess world, active pieces don't get promoted that much. For me, this is game winning, basically. This has won me so many games. I can't even describe how useful this is. The way to win in chess is to attack. And how do you attack? With pieces. So you need to position your pieces in such a way so that they can attack and overwhelm your opponent's pieces. So active pieces, just S tier, non-negotiable. Prophylaxis. Yeah, this one right here is advanced. If you're below 1500, you probably don't know what this means, and you probably don't see this in many games happening either. But what it is you anticipate your opponent's move, and instead of reacting to your opponent's move when it is played, you take care of it one move or more before. So, for example, you play a pawn move to restrict your opponent's pieces. Like that is an example of prophylactic. I don't think this is that important. It's just nice to have, nice to know, but it single-handedly win you games, if you know what I mean. I'm gonna put this at rarely beneficial. Next one is open files, or specifically putting your pieces on open files and opened lines. I guess this is somewhat important. This kind of goes hand in hand with active pieces, to be honest. So I think I'm just gonna leave that here, and active pieces kind of take care of this already. This is a little bit too specific in my opinion. Develop your pieces, of course, S tier. I don't think we can disagree here. Developing your pieces is single-handedly what you need to do to win the game. Next one is good knight versus bad bishop. This one is a little bit too specific. I'm gonna make this, I think this is a little bit too specific. I think I'm gonna make this exchange wisely. This one is just more general and better suited for exchange wisely is basically the better version of good knight versus bad bishop. This is not really helpful. Like you don't even know what it really means. Like, are you supposed to trade a bad bishop for a good knight, or I don't know? Trading, knowing when to trade and when not to trade is very important. Like for example, you have a very bad piece. For example, a very bad bishop that is locked behind some pawns, and then you decide to trade that off. What you essentially have done is you removed your only bad piece in that position, and from now on you just have good pieces, and you never have to worry about being able to use a piece in an attack or whatever. So exchange wisely, very important. Endgame knowledge. Endgame knowledge, S tier. I don't think we have to debate on this too much. Especially the higher you go, the more useful this will become. At the lower levels, not many people know how to play the end game, but when you get higher, this will save your ass so many times. It has won me so many games and made me draw games that I otherwise should have lost. Very underrated. Opposition. This is actually part of endgame technique. So I'm gonna use endgame knowledge for opposition. So this all goes in S tier. Watch for tactics. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, the chess is basically all tactics. The reason you win in chess is because of tactics in one way or another. Anywhere below 2000, you have some kind of tactic that wins you games or loses you games or made you spend like a lot of time. So S tier is 100% the place for that. Outpost. Outpost. I mean, I didn't have that many games where Peace Outpost won me the game. I feel like this is rarely beneficial. You don't need to have this. When you're in a game that is completely equal and you need every advantage you can get, I think Outpost is pretty nice to have and good to know. But in general, I don't really see this being that useful. I mean, sure, you get a very good piece that can be removed from your opponent, but that enough in itself can't win you games. You like there has to be some kind of tactic to come up with this for it to win you the game. But if your opponent is smart and they kind of deal with that, and maybe they try to, for example, create a threat different on a different area of the board, it can get difficult to win with this. So, and up next, seize the initiative. I don't really know how to feel about this, to be honest. Like, I see many creators saying, oh, you need to have the initiative and then and then you create threats like with every move that your opponent has to respond. And when you do that, you improve your position. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I didn't have this come up very often and help me that much. I mean, I do play aggressive openings that kind of make me seize the initiative, but I don't really see it that way. I just see it as active pieces and attacking. So I don't know. I'm gonna put this at B tier. I don't know where to put this. King safety. Yeah, king safety, non-negotiable S tier. Without this, you basically lose the game. So S tier is where it belongs. Don't move too fast. For me, this is kind of counterproductive actually, because I do move slowly and sometimes I do get into time trouble. But I do think for most of you guys out there, this is a great piece of advice. I don't know where to put this though. I think I'm going to put this at B tier. This is a very nice spot for this. There are times where you need to move fast, but in general, and with especially like key moments like tactics, should definitely take your time to calculate the outcomes. Pawn play. Pawn play is so underrated. S tier. It's not the most important one in S tier, but this is so important, man. Like, I mean, maybe it's just for me, but this one makes my positions from good to great. Kind of wins me games automatically because I get such a nice space advantage, and I also get passed pawns, which is one of the A tier ones. And also, like, this is just a good way to attack. If you ever heard of Pawn Storm, this is kind of part of pawn play. Very, very underrated, underappreciated. You literally get 8 pawns every game. Each pawn can become a queen, technically, theory, but and also like the way chess works is, since pawns are the least valuable piece, unironically makes them the most valuable piece, because every time you attack a opponent's piece with pawns, the opponent's piece has to move because it is of higher value. So you can kind of use it to your advantage. The other is, for example, trapping your or controlling your enemy's queen, your opponent's queen, with pawns so that it can't move to specific key squares. This is so underappreciated. And I think that is it. We have a lot of chess principles in S tier, but I think that's fine because a lot of these are important. Interestingly enough, I have not put a single one at not important, because all of these chess principles will help you in some way or another. Otherwise, they wouldn't be chess principles. So I decided to not include any of them in not important at all. Yeah, there you have it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And please consider subscribing. It would help me out a lot. And otherwise, I will see you in the next video.